module on pedagogical content knowledge in physics. And in this unit, we'll be looking at preparation for physics teaching. And in the first session of this unit, we are going to look at physics curriculum. My name is Patrick Ej. Now, at the end of this session, you should be able to explain physics curriculum, list the components of a physics curriculum, and state the relationship between the components of the physics curriculum. So let's look at the word curriculum. And this concept has been given a wide range of definitions from different authorities. And to some educators, they define the curriculum to be synonymous to the syllabus. Some define it to be synonymous to the timetable as well as academic disciplines. And it can also be referred to as educational program that is planned for a specified level of an academic institution. So the program that is planned for the JHS, the primary school, the SHS, once it is for a specified level, that is also a curriculum. And so from this, then we can define physics curriculum as a systematic arrangement of a number of physics topics into a unit for a particular level of physics students. So the various topics that are put together and that students are supposed to learn constitutes the physics curriculum. Or it can also be defined as all the physics experiences that the physics students have under the school's direction. So the various learning experiences that the learner will be exposed to under the direction of the school can also be said to be a physics curriculum. Now, what are the components of the physics curriculum? And we must understand that whatever the definitions of a curriculum, it should reflect all the four interrelated components that were suggested by Kerr in 1968. And in relation to what Kerr suggested, the four components are: what is the end product of the physics instruction? And this talks about the objectives of the curriculum. What is studied? And here, Kerr was referring to the content or the subject matter of the physics instruction. And the next component is: how are the physics study and teaching done? And here was referring to the methodology of physics instruction. And finally, how the results of physics teaching are assessed. And this is referring to evaluation. So every curriculum must reflect these four components. It must give us an objective. It must provide a subject matter or a content that will be studied. It must also provide us with some methodologies that can be used in teaching the various concepts, and also provide means of assessing the learners after going through the set of the content that the syllabus has or the curriculum has prescribed. So let's look at how these four components suggested by Kerr are interrelated. And the components are shown in this diagram. So you realize that we have a diagram which more or less looks like a kite, and all the points are meeting. So we have objective, which has a relationship with evaluation. Content has a relationship with methodology. Objective goes with methodology. So you observe that none of the components stand on their own. It means the kind of objectives that has been stated will influence the methodology that will be used. Our evaluation will also help us find out whether our methodology was effective or not. And the same evaluation can help us to find out whether we have achieved the objectives. Now, the same objectives can help us to know whether we are really giving out the prescribed content to the learners. And we can do the evaluation again to find out whether the content or the prescribed content is what was given to the learner. So you realize that all these four components interrelate or they interdepend on one another. None of them stand on their own. And so we said that each component of the curriculum influences the others. So, for instance, objectives determine the selection of content and methodology. And also, the methodological approach adopted by the teacher for instruction is also based on the objectives as well as the content. So, per the objectives that you state as a teacher or that will be stated in the curriculum will also let us know the kind of methodological approach that you can use in order to enhance or see to the attainment of this objective. Now, students, in this session, we look at the physics curriculum as well as the components of the physics curriculum. And we mentioned that the physics curriculum should be able to reflect the four components of curriculum that were identified by Kell. And we saw the four components were the objective, the content, the methodology, and evaluation. And we saw that none of the components are independent. They all depend on one another. And so the methodology that will be used will be based on the objectives that were stated. And to find out whether we have achieved our objectives, we have to do an evaluation. So none of these components stand on their own. Now, as we bring this session to an end, let us have this question as a take-home. Give another definition of a physics curriculum that will reflect the four interrelated components of the curriculum. So in your own words, define the physics curriculum to reflect the objective, the content, the methodology, and evaluation. You'll be presenting your answer to this question in our next session.